I just want to be a normal lawyer.
There is no going back to what you were before.
I'm not going to be a superhero.
This is your life now.
She-Hulk is the newest addition to Marvel's superhero family, and fans finally got to see her in action yesterday on the new Disney Plus series, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. Yes, that's the title. In Marvel's take on the courtroom drama, Jennifer Walters, a.k.a. She-Hulk, grapples with the question, with great power, just how much great responsibility do you have? Well, fans might recognize Canadian actor Tatiana Maslany, who's best known for her work in Orphan Black, where she played a whole club of clones. Now she's transforming herself in a whole new way. Our screen time guy, Eli Glasner, has seen the first 4 episodes and is here to tell us if it's easy being green. Morning, Eli.
Hey, John.
What have you got in terms of superheroes over the years? You've seen lots of them. Now, how does this show compare? The title alone's got my attention. How does it stack up?
You know, I think what is great is I've got this. This is the John Byrne comic book run that began in 1989. This is a comic writer and artist who learned his craft at the Alberta School of the Arts, so he was Canadian raised, and really established what made this such an interesting character with a unique voice. She didn't learn to break the fourth wall because of Deadpool. She was doing it in the comics years ago, and now we have Tatiana Maslany playing this character, Jennifer Walters. The beginning of the show, she's very much a lawyer, very much focused on her career, and as you can see, her cousin happens to be Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk. As we learn, the two are in an accident, and part of what makes Bruce go green becomes part of Jennifer. So now when she wants to, she can Hulk out. Now when it happens in public, a reporter yells out, "She-Hulk," which she hates that name, but it sticks. Now, yes, She-Hulk is a ridiculous name. We don't call the other guy him Hulk. She's not her Hulk, but I will say, as I just mentioned, in the comics, she is one of the better written female characters in the Marvel Universe. This is a 6'7" tall green woman who is not afraid to put macho lunkheads in their place and is comfortable in her own skin, green or otherwise. And the creators quickly realize we don't need another origin story. So we jump ahead in the first episode to the fun stuff, with the Hulk trying to teach Jennifer, his cousin, how to be a superhero. Now, the Hulk himself has had this long, tortured path of melding the various parts of his personality together. As Smart Hulk, he begins by trying to see what triggers Jen to go green by putting her in a death box. Take a look.
The triggers are anger and fear.
Those are like the baseline of any woman just existing.
All right, then, let's try this.
Bruce! Kind of feels like if I don't transform, I'm gonna die. You have a plan B for that?
No.
No?
So there you go, has something to say about the female condition, but also it's not just that she's a female Hulk, she's a better Hulk. She's able to control that ability, turning it on and off at will, which is great because when Jennifer, she wants to put being green on the back burner and go back to saving the day as a lawyer, but when she's forced to Hulk out in court, things get a little more complicated. Luckily, John, there's a legal firm that specializes in metahuman cases, and they hire her as long as she's willing to report to work in her shade of green.
Okay. That's what you liked about She-Hulk. Anything that didn't work?
Yeah, you may have heard some complaints about the CGI. When the trailer first dropped, a lot of fans were complaining. Some said she looked a little Shrek-like. Now, there's always a risk doing a show where the character is 100% animated. Now, it is Tatiana's voice. She's in a motion capture suit, and there's a lot of animators working very hard to make her a supersized green version. The results aren't exactly sensational, but not Shrek-level bad either. In the first episode, it did feel like it took them a while to decide on a shade of green, and there are some moments where it feels like She-Hulk is slipping into the uncanny valley, but what saves her again and again is Tatiana's performance. I found that I was watching it because of her and not so much because of the faults of the effects. And She-Hulk has a lot going for it. A fun, surprising supporting cast, her ability to break the fourth wall like Deadpool, and some real inspired moments of zaniness. I will say, like too many Marvel shows, shows, it is kind of trapped in this phantom zone middle where it wants to be Ally McBeal one moment, and then she needs to fight some C-level supervillain the next. But what keeps me watching, and what will keep me watching, is Tatiana. 3.5 stars out of 5.
3.5 stars. There you go. You've heard it. Thanks, Eli. Eli Glasner in Toronto.